YouTube has led courses, and today I want to start with you on the ESP. We'll start right at the beginning and go through the whole thing together. You'll also be able to apply part of this during assembly because basically the control elements and the displays are similar. It's just that everything is set up a little differently. So let's get started and see how far we get in the first round. At first, it's just about the basics and the difference with the ESP. So what isn't there in the normal version exists. And when you start and just get going, I think the most important thing is saving. And that's not so easy to spot. Here, you save up here on this laptop icon with the arrow. You click on it and then you can select Store as New Performance. So that's how I save my sound on the ESP. It's then stored in the user memory, just like on the regular Montage and the MODX. We have a search function here. For the sounds, where we see the name up here, we can, just like on the regular Montage and MODX, search by all, favorite, preset, user, or a library. We can categorize everything here and even categorize it a bit further, namely into the different types of sound generation. We'll get into what else we can do here later on. What's important here is single and multi. Single means that you only have a one-part sound, so you can use it further. And here you can also categorize by the different songs you've loaded from the Montage or from the XF. Then here we can load and save. Very important, I currently have the ESP open in Gig Performer. In Gig Performer and MainStage, you can't just load and save that easily. Some things are suppressed there. If you want to load and save something, you have to do it in a DAW. I've done it in Logic so far, and that's no problem. It's cumbersome and annoying, but it really works without any issues. But I will write to Yamaha and ask what's going on there. Next, we come to the synchronization button here. You need this exactly when you have the Montage connected to your computer. That means you can synchronize directly here. I'll show you what that looks like next time when I'm at the Montage, but I have to update my Montage first because it's still on version 2.1, and I've shown you how to do that in a video. I'll link that again up above. Here we come to the setlist view, which we already know. We can edit it here. Later, we can also move things back and forth here. Then up here we have the song pattern, import. I haven't tried yet whether that works in Gig Performer and MainStage. We'll do that together. Then I have the settings button here. It looks a little different. Here I have a MIDI in-out that I can select. That's important for synchronization and how it's controlled. Then I can choose here whether I'm small or large. That's just a window size, so we'll leave it as it is. Here I have the setting for the tone generator. We'll go through all of those in detail later. What's really important here is that I can change the buffering size. That's important for the samples. I actually haven't figured out yet what effect that has. I also haven't tried whether it affects CPU load, but I'll take a look at that right now. For now, it doesn't seem to make any difference. I would have been surprised anyway if it affected memory. Here I can change the polyphony. That means to reduce the CPU load, I can just turn it down here. Then you should notice something. Of course, setting it to 0 doesn't make sense. I can assign the controllers for the Super Knock and the Sehnenwechsel here, so I can control the Sehen properly. I can change the main LR in the output volume. I can select the channel. We'll get to that later as well. Here I can change the global settings, global tuning and micro tuning. We also know that from Montage and MODX, I can quantize the arpeggio. I'm actually a bit surprised that this is here. I think, at least with the old one, that wasn't the case. Whether that's the case with the new one, I'll have to see, but we'll go through that together as well. And here I can set the effects globally, turn them on and off. Then we have the familiar data utility mode where everything is saved. Now in Performance Click, you can see here that I've already programmed a few. Valerie and Valerie GPGP mean that I programmed those as heads for Gig Performer with 2 master keyboards. And Valerie simply means for my Montage M, but for the 76 key version and not the 61 key one. Maybe I should note that as well. Then we can see here how many user performances we can save. That's 640. Of course, you can expand that by simply saving everything as a library. Down here, we see another button that we don't recognize like this. From the regular Montage panel, the Marseille, here you can optimize the waveforms. I don't know exactly what it does there, but probably just moves a few files back and forth. And here are notes. Right now, it's a bit unclear, but there's quite a bit listed here. So that's the general overview for now. Then here we have the 8 parts that we know from the Montage and the MODX. You can only use 8 parts here as well. If I click here and load the piano in, I can't play it directly either. So you have to use a workaround. It's just like with... You see here, there's no local button. Then here we have audio in, which we can also use. So that's pretty cool. We also have audio in on the plugin here, which we can control. That works excellently in Gig Perform by simply connecting a cable. Then up here you have the scenes. It's not a problem that they're up there because you don't have to control them directly now. Here you already have a few control elements. Here we have the 8 knobs and the super knob, including a switch to turn it on and off. And down here we have the main menu. So what you see in Montage Link, we have here, but we'll go into detail about that later. If I click on common here, I'll just go in here somewhere in into audio into routing, then it simply changes. So that's it for the start for now. In the next videos, we'll go through everything here step by step and learn how to load a sound, how to change the sound, how to change the keyboard range, adjust velocity, modify effects, and so on. Here we have the settings for the super knob, which you might also recognize from the device itself. Down here are the controllers that are assigned in the performance. Knob auto, that's for the motion sequencer, which we also have here, of course. Here we have the scenes, everything is on one page, so you don't have to switch between them. You can activate 8, 10 here, all of them. And then you have them all in here. It then switches here between what you see, because not everything fits on one page after all. So you have 2 here. Can you also enter an offset? Apparently. Here is the note limit function, which we've already gotten to know in the first montage video. Then here, for example, this is something I don't know yet. It's new to me. I haven't seen it like this on the old one. Here you can also turn on the ARP, link the super knob in the motion sequencer. We know all of that. And here you can turn on Smart Morph and also edit the super knob. We'll have to see what the big difference is here compared to that. I definitely don't know it like this either, but I'm sure we'll figure it out together. I think we can manage it here in FM mode. Okay, so it's probably about what you can morph back and forth and how. That's the first overview for now, and in the next video we'll start here with this overview and the timbres.